I don't know if I'm nostalgic per se. I mean, in retrospect, I do spend the majority of my time looking through old videos, but I don't know if it's because I'm nostalgic. The definition reads, a sentimental longing or wistful affection for the past, typically for a period or place with happy personal associations. But I really don't know if that's what I feel. I feel mourning. I feel grief. I feel aching, deep pains for the girl that I see in those videos. For the innocence, maybe, or just because I won't feel it again. I don't want to go through the talking stage with a boy from 6th grade again, or attend another middle school dance. But I grieve for that part of my life that is over. I mourn for the years that have passed so suddenly, and I cry for the present me that has to look back at those videos to remember those moments, those feelings. I miss the comfort of having time. I yearn to start it all over from the beginning, from the second I was born. The thing about nostalgia is that you ignore the pain you went through in between the lines of your memories, but I'm not leaving that out. I want to feel it all again. I want to go through everything all over. I just want one more time. I look in the mirror and have absolutely no idea of how I got here. I miss someone that I carry around every single day. How do you continue to miss someone so deeply that you are never apart from? How do you cope with mourning yourself? How do you sit in your bedroom and watch videos from years before and not look in the mirror astonished that you will never experience anything quite like that ever again? Nostalgia is not what I live in. A sentimental yearn is not what I feel. I feel grief. I feel loss. I feel dead.
I don't know if I'm nostalgic, per se. I mean, in retrospect, I do spend the majority of my time looking through old videos, but I don't know if it's because I'm nostalgic. The definition reads, a sentimental longing or wistful affection for the past, typically for a period or place with happy personal associations. But I really don't know if that's what I feel. I feel mourning. I feel grief. I feel aching, deep pains for the girl that I see in those videos, for the innocence maybe, or just because I won't feel it again. I don't want to go through the talking stage with a boy from 6th grade again, or visit another middle school dance, but I grieve for that part of my life that is over. I mourn for the years that have passed so suddenly, and I cry for the present me that has to look back on those videos to remember those moments, those feelings. I miss the comfort of having time. I yearn to start it all over from the beginning, from the second I was born. The thing about nostalgia is that you ignore the pain you went through in between the lines of your memories, but I'm not leaving that out. I want to feel it all again. I want to go through everything all over. I just want one more time. I look in the mirror and have absolutely no idea of how I got here. I miss someone that I carry around every single day. How do you continue to miss someone so deeply that you are never apart from? How do you cope with mourning yourself? How do you sit in your bedroom and watch videos from years before and not look in the mirror astonished that you will never experience anything quite like that ever again? Nostalgia is not what I live in. A sentimental yearn is not what I feel. I feel grief. I feel loss. I feel dead. I wonder if I live in a pretty casket. What flowers are brought to my frequently visited grave, what outfit they dressed me up in before they lowered me into the ground. I wonder if one day, while I'm not even searching for it, I'll find a headstone with my name on it and everything I've ever thought will finally make sense. There is no way I am truly alive. To be alive is to experience, but I've been a mere passenger in every adventure I've ever embarked on. I've been the background character in every story I've written and the supporting role in the number of places life has cast me in. What is it to feel dead but be alive? What is it to prick your finger and expect nothing but rot to ooze out, but instead be greeted by rust-colored pain? What is it to live in third person, to be just plain existing, to be stuck in the space that isn't breathing but isn't breathless? Who am I to write a will when all of my assets have never belonged to me? I wonder if I live in a pretty casket or a handcrafted urn. I wonder where my body was laid to rest, where the soul that I harbor escaped from. There is no real way that I could truly be alive and feel like this. There is no real way that this is truly what life is. I am not blind to the beauty of the blossoming lives around me. I am no stranger to the greening fields and the sprouting leaves, but I will never feel them the way I wish to. Because somewhere at some point I was laid to rest, and somewhere at some point I decided I wasn't ready yet, and somewhere at some point I became what I am now, somewhere between breathing and breathless. There is something so intriguing about you. The part of me that wants to run waits as the other half holds your hand. I see you, young and shattered, and I see me standing next to you, wide-eyed and broken, and then the other half of me bends down and cradles you, and every part of me asks you how your day was, how you feel about the sky, is interested in your favorite colors and what shirt is your favorite, remembers the names of your friends and your family and writes your name on my school papers. Part of me is scared of you, but all of me is in awe of you. How you built yourself up from something so stripped to the bare minimum, how the armor built up on your thighs is hidden under your comforter, how you keep your circle small. The parts of me that want to run in the other direction while the thought of you drowns in my subconscious are mere reflections of you. The parts of me that are scared of you are identical to you, and the parts of me that are not, the whole of me is so intrigued by you, and is all consumed by the mirror that is your skin. I still write your first initial over my scars, and I keep your clothes washed and folded like I'll wear them, and you'll tell me I look better in them than you ever could. Your voice plays in my head like a weapon I've created only to torture myself, a figment of my imagination placed there by a part of me designed only to pick myself apart. Piece by piece, the words you spoke wind around my mind, waiting to assemble and fire. I was so fragile. I thought you used glue when you put me back together, but it's just a bunch of barbed wire you've left me to cut myself free of. I'm sad that you're a liar and that you've left me scratched and broken, but I find comfort in the fact that only I can control your words now, since you exist only in my memory. So I think I'll wash your clothes again. Put them in a box and shove it into the back of my closet where monsters hide instinctively. I look better in my own anyway. For the entirety of my shallow existence, I have been compared to that of warmth and sunshine. Goldy, sunny, smiley. That my ashy blonde hair reminded my parents of the sand and my eyes reflections of the ocean. But October was my favorite month. I liked the leaves and the colors and the way my tan started to fade. I liked the way the air was never too cold and the sun warmed my skin but didn't make me sweat. And when you became October, I fell in love with it. I played in your leaves, carved all your pumpkins, went costume shopping in your closet, and kept the porch light on so everyone knew we were home. October became a constant month, autumn became every season, and our anniversary became my favorite holiday. But winter came eventually, as it always does. Your leaves blew away, your pumpkins began to rot, we grew out of our costumes, and the porch light burnt out. Maybe it was me. Maybe there was a part of me that is not always 85 degrees and sunny. Maybe there was a part of me that welcomed winter and the frosting of your green grass. Maybe there was a part of me that longed for the quiet of a world draped in white powder. Whatever it was. Whatever made winter come earlier than I ever thought it could have. Brought out the deadly storm that you were hiding. Showed me the roads of your mind that were stained with black ice and the fallen branches that caused the blackout that we had so quickly became. I've always been so scared of the dark, so when you threw me into it spiraling, begging for answers when I could not even see my own hands, what was I supposed to do besides call out for you? Winter was never ending. I was so cold in the spring. In June, July, and August all fell below freezing. But in January I drove past my old house, the one I lived in before the autumn months even knew your name, and the porch light was on. So I carved a new pumpkin. I made my own costume, and I have never felt the winter be so warm. The ice began to melt, the ground began to thaw, and when all of the lights turned on again, when I was able to see you so clearly, when I was able to touch your face and pull the bits of leaves out of your hair, I felt the sun warm my skin. I heard the waves crash onto the ashy blonde sand. And October, suddenly, was no longer my favorite.
Okay, I was reading something the other day about how when you're born into a burning house, you think the whole world is on fire, but it's not. Well, when I was born, I was placed gently into the arms of an open flame. I felt as the heat reddened my skin and rose my cheeks, but I still played in bonfires and went on beach vacations in volcanoes, handcrafted my casket as a pastime. I was gifted to the burning house that no one else could see was on fire but me, placed into the hands of a house fire that I was told would never burn me. I was talking to my therapist about fire, about how I was scared to get burned every time a spark began to escalate. Every time I could see a hint of what I was told would never burn me, I would shut down, surrendering to the flames, giving in to the boiling temperatures, tearing away my clothes, hoping that this time would be different. This time I would be unscathed. This time this flame would not burn me. Not every flame is a house fire. Not every boy with beer in his breath is a death threat. Belts can come undone without marking me. Hands can graze me without etching their prints into my skin. So why does it feel like 1,000 degrees? Why did this turn from scalding hot comfort to humiliation? I'm doing something wrong now. I know it. It burns. I can feel it. I'm on fire. It's on fire. The house is on fire. Can't you feel it? Doesn't it sting you? How does this not hurt you? Can't you feel it? If this isn't real, why am I in pain? If this isn't real, then why do I flinch when you touch my skin? If this was all just a figment of my imagination, why have I never worn sunscreen? They say when you're born into a burning house, you think the whole world is on fire, but what if that's because it is? I finally realized that when I watch the videos of us from when we were immersed in each other, I'm not looking at you. I'm analyzing how big the smile on my face is. I'm watching how my body melts into yours as if they are made to fit together, and I feel, as if only for a second, my mouth curl up the slightest amount while I watch.
Alone in my bedroom at 2 a.m., I cannot see your face. Not in the pictures you post or even on FaceTime. And I'm scared to call you. Texting you feels like I'm doing something wrong, but the part of me that's hurt, the part of me that was saved by you, she cries for you when she's caught off guard. Drunk at a party somewhere, she's asking people where you are. She's put a band-aid over the wound you created, thinking it would get smaller, thinking it would heal, but it's only grown larger. And no part of me can figure out how to tend to it. I feel like there's a hole in my chest that is gaping wide open and everyone can see it. They can see your name written over my wrist in Sharpie through my sweatshirt sleeve. They know I'm a liar. They know I'm not over it. They know I still think of us as open-ended. I have watched you be the shallow punchline of so many jokes you probably deserve to be the butt of, but I still love you. I hide away your clothes and tuck away the gifts you gave me, and I press the photos of us between book pages. I love you so much, I try to convince everyone I hate you, even myself, so that one day it may finally work. You would keep the bathroom light on when I slept over because I was scared of the dark, and you would talk me through every nightmare until I fell asleep again. And I still remember what it felt like to hear your voicemail for the first time. I was in front of my high school before some football game, and you got in trouble and got your phone taken away, so I left you a voicemail. You got it back later, and we talked, and I told you how cute it was. Do you still listen to it? Do you still press play to hear the way my voice called you lovingly? How it sounded when you actually enjoyed it? When every word I spoke didn't sting you? I listen to your voicemails, the ones where you refer to me as love and baby and tell me how much you wish you could hear my voice. You tell me I ripped your heart from your chest. Don't you know I'm evil? Don't you know I feel it? Don't you know I'm guilty? Don't you know I'm worthless? I am every bad word you have ever spoken of me. I am every mistake I have ever made. I am every hard phrase you just can't seem to erase from your memory. I am everything you want me to be. Liar, evil, untrustworthy. I am that entire 24-hour conversation that left you breathless. I am crazy. I am evil. I am every joke you've made to your friends with me as a shallow punchline. I am pointless. Without you, I am nothing, because with you, I was something. Have you ever felt worthless? No. Have you ever known you were worthless? Have you ever hated yourself so much you just wanted to kill it, but you feel like that's the easy way out? Feel like you don't deserve to feel peace? Feel like you need to cut yourself just deep enough to feel the punishment you deserve? Itch at every scab as every scar heals just to do it again because you deserve it. Because you are worthless. I now question every word that comes out of my mouth. I analyze every phrase and the tone through which it is projected. So I guess I understand that even if I could give all that love to you, even if I could explain all my faults to you, and you promised you understood, you still cared about me being crazy, mutilating me, ripping me limb from limb. Crazy? Am I? Maybe. Or am I just really, really terrible? I remember the feeling I got in the middle of the night when I would jolt awake and check your breathing, making sure you were okay, making sure you didn't go anywhere. An extension of me. Clearly I deserve this. Clearly I am worthless. I won't check under the bed tonight, and I'll turn all my lights off. I'll leave my closet door open and my bedroom door unlocked because clearly the only thing I've ever really had to fear was myself. A letter from me to me, except to me in April of 2021. The earth-shattering heartache. The way the grass and the trees are starting to green and bud. You think we are the same, but I know we are not. I have fought to be right here, to watch as the little creatures return to the surface, to study the sprouts in my mother's garden, to watch the tan fill my non-bandaged skin. You think we are the same because you have loved before and because you have lost. Well, I have loved more and I have lost most. In my mind, you do not exist, and on this grass in front of this house in this neighborhood, I am the most proudly boasted soldier. My honor rings in nearby homes, the trials and tribulations I have overcome or talked about over family dinner. You think we are the same, but you do not even know who I am yet. And as you sit there, wallowing, retching in pain, you'll hear ringing bells and sirens and cheers. My parade. Look at the war she's won, you'll think to yourself. So you put on your uniform of bandages and scabs, and you'll go out front to lay in the grass. You'll take in the surroundings, because this is your plot, your battle, and you are the most decorated soldier. And someday you'll be as celebrated as me. I know this is gonna sound terrible, but why do you get to be happy? Now, I don't even really want you anymore. I'm just tortured by the fact that I've suffered from the start. You got to recover and move on and find people that make you happy and to distract you until you fill the hole that I created, but mine has only grown larger and cannot be filled, and I keep getting stabbed and beaten, so why do you get to be happy? Is this karma? I mean, I guess. Maybe I am actually as bad as you said. Maybe I have been victimizing myself. Maybe I have been everything you've said I am, so tell me, when you talk to her, does it feel wrong? Because I can't seem to catch a break. Tell me, do you feel guilty? Do you feel untouchable? Do you feel uncomfortable? Does it make you feel like you can't get clean? Do you yearn to feel the comfort that you felt next to me? It doesn't even have to be you. I just want to feel safe again. And I don't know how you got that power or how I gave it to you, because I'm trapped and I'm suffocating. So why do you get to be happy now? I've done everything I was supposed to. I worked on myself. I took everything well. I cracked jokes and kissed people at parties. I hung out with my friends and moved out of his house. So why do you get to be happy when I got to be homeless and looked over and punished? Why did you get to be free and I got to be handcuffed? Why have you gotten everything you've ever wanted when you never even had any intention of fighting for it in the first place? What does relief feel like? I really am happy for you, and I know this all probably sounds selfish, and I know it probably is. I just don't know what you did to make everyone else feel like a stranger. Why do you get to be happy? You plagued me! You made me unlovable, untrustable, a liar. Why do you get the power? Why do you get to be happy? Why do you get to experience life while I have to survive it? So sure, I'm not in front of you anymore. But you see my face in passing strangers and get an empty feeling when she rests her head on your chest. You search for my gaze as you stare into her cloudy eyes. My heart is intertwined with yours. I knew it the second I sat with my back against my childhood dresser, the daisy knobs digging into my upper back. I no longer ask you if you still love me. I no longer beg for phone calls. I no longer sit in the deafening silence that is your absence. When I am alone, I do not think of you. But my body recognizes your disappearance when it is curled up under sheets you never touched. When I slip into clothes you've never seen or listen to a song we haven't shared, I no longer suffocate out of deprivation. Without you, I am not broken. I am not lonely. I am just unfinished. It feels so juvenile calling it love when it feels this astronomical, this mind-bending and complicated. It feels like I discovered a whole other part of myself within you. I truly do not think I will ever find someone like that. Not that completes me, but that truly sees me. You only get one of those, I'm sure. There is no way you could possibly find that twice. It's almost an inhuman experience, the feeling of finding the one person you truly knew you were supposed to. It's not that I think you are the end-all be-all of my existence, because I will love after you. The seeds I've planted in the empty parts of my soul to fill the spots that you fit in so effortlessly will bloom even in your absence. You will always be a part of me, no matter who I fall asleep next to. I will continue to be whole, even decades after your departure, but no amount of love will ever compare to every star in that damn sky. I cut the skin I'm supposed to grow into and I cry at the reflection you praised. I sit under the running water for hours hoping I'll slip down the drain. I can feel your hands all over my body and your breath all over my face, and know deep down I was not designed for this place. I was far too pure to be mutilated and far too whole to be dissected, so I guess what I'm wondering is what I looked like when you did it. Innocent? Was that the appeal? That I was untouched? Was it because you knew I trusted you? That I loved you? That I thought you were the most incredible person to stand on 2 feet? I was a child and you burnt me. Poked me, stabbed me, beat me, broke me until I taught myself to forget what broken even felt like. You branded the skin you gave me to grow into, and now I get scolded for trying to escape it. So I guess what I'm asking is, was it worth it? Now that I'm sitting here looking in this mirror, begging to be nothing but exposed bone, now that I'm older and grown and aware, what did she look like to you? The version of me that you reduced to ruin so brutally, the era of my life where I was supposed to be playing with baby dolls, not being taught where real ones came from. My body has your touch engraved in it now. I'm tarnished now. I'm everything I am afraid of now. There is not even rest nestled in eternal peace because I will be buried or burnt like this, with your eyes on me. My self-image includes you now. You get individuality. I get accompanied loneliness. Even when I'm sure I'm the only one around, the bathtub the only thing touching my skin, I am not alone. I will never be. Your prints cover me. All I want is to be by myself. Sixth grade was spent getting sent home every other day because of panic attacks, and I had a bunch of bruises that I shouldn't have. Seventh grade was spent sharing a bed. Eighth grade I couldn't deal with sleeping alone. My freshman year is when I decided that I hated myself. My sophomore year wasn't even mine. My junior year was spent in basements and on couches. It's so weird being alive right now. I remember deciding on the day, talking about who I would give my things to, walking with my head down through school hallways, my eyes rolling into the back of my head at my desk. I tried so hard to get through, to wake up every day, brush my teeth, shower, look clean, spend time with someone other than my own reflection. I remember writing the letters. I remember holding people tighter, kissing their heads as I left parties, distancing myself so they would get used to life without me. School was too hard, dragging my feet into classrooms only to leave them. Sleep was too irregular. I couldn't close my eyes or I'd see him. Peace felt close and comfortable and permanent. The hair that came out into my pillows and collected in my shower drain didn't concern me. The parts of me that showed through my skin looked fine. It was so easy throwing myself into others. I just wanted someone to hold me, someone to care for me. I yearned for someone to just know me, to understand. Know what it felt like to be drowning. The water was rising so quickly now. Rest was so close and I was ready. But then May 25th came, and I still had things to do. May 27th, and I started to question my own intelligence. May 28th, I blew up balloons and wore a party hat and listened to music in my bedroom. I waved goodbye to my reflection in the mirror and went to a party with my friends. May 29th, I woke up again. So I ended up finishing high school. I'm not really sure how, I just wanted my mom to be able to say I did. I didn't realize how strange it would feel to live past the day you were so convinced it'd be your last. But I'm graduating today. I leave in like 5 minutes, actually. This cap is super ugly, but at least it's not a casket. The water was rising, but I figured out how to stop it. Life felt meaningless, but now I know it wasn't. And soon you'll realize you've always been in danger. The games you played as a kid draped in dark cloth, the innocence drained out of your pigtails and the colors in your sundress withered away. The house was burning and there was no one to stop it, even when you were playing in the flames. The ocean you were always compared to swallowed you whole, even though they taught you to swim in it. You don't wear sunscreen or a life jacket, but it seems you've always needed to. The nightmares and the sleep-talking make sense now. The stress that filled your little blonde head, the fear that had all consumed you, every hug held war behind it. every secret another lost battle. They'll tell you to wear a helmet, to lock your front door at night, to check under the bed, precaution. The helmet didn't keep him out of your bedroom, did it? You were far too short to reach the lock. He checked under the bed for you, right? Soon you'll realize the scariest monsters lived down the hall, made dinner in your kitchen, kissed you goodnight. Soon, when you've grown, when you've learned, when you've aged, soon you'll realize you've always been in danger, even when you thought you were safe.